Hi everyone. I'm going to talk to you about how online marketers must feel like, or anybody that actually wants to be on the top, at the top of anything. We tend to take our emotions and then split them up. So we've got um, negative feelings and then we've got positive feelings, right? And we tend to take our positive and push it to the front of our mind, and then any negative feelings that we have and negative emotions that we have, we push it to the back. We compress it and we put it aside and we ignore it. That's what we tend to do. So what I'm trying to say is that we need to embrace our negative thoughts. We need to embrace our negative emotions. As online marketers, we try to we think that if we aren't feeling joy, there is something terribly wrong. But that's definitely not the case. What we do is we take our negative, we put it aside, we block it off, we don't deal with it. We overthink our negative with our positive thoughts. And that in itself is a problem because we're not dealing with it. So what I'm trying to say is that we have to deal with our negative thoughts. We need to take our negative thoughts, we need to sit with it, we need to live that negative emotion. We need to be able to deal with it. We need to work through that emotion. Otherwise it's just going to be there. And every time you see or feel something, or we see something similar, or we're in a similar situation, that automatically gets pushed forward to your brain. So you're going to think about it negatively straight away. If you deal with that situation, you deal with that negative emotion, you can work through it. You can deal with it right there and then. You can then it's resolved, right? So it's not pushed back, it's not compressed, it's not something that you would need to deal with later, because it's resolved. Your emotion, your negative emotion, has been dealt with. So there's no way that your brain would be able to push forward. What your brain will think is that if you did have another negative emotion or negative thought, you will be able to, your brain will deal with it straight away so that you can get positive again. You're not going to stay in your negative state because you're dealing with your negativity. We tend to want to be the best at everything that we do. And if we made a mistake, we feel ashamed, embarrassed, maybe, and we punish ourselves, right? Because with our brain, with our thoughts, so everything that we do is like, oh, are you good enough? You didn't do it well enough, you know, all those things. And that's something that we don't need to go through. So making us suffer over our negative emotion is worse than just dealing with that negative emotion in the first place. So you know how you get something happens in your life and you're desperately sad, or you're desperately angry, or anything like that, as naturally with everybody telling you to stay positive, focus on the positive of everything. Sometimes that could be more harm than anything else, because dealing with your negative emotion will help you. It will help you to stay positive. It will help you to make your positive your main feature in your life, because you've dealt with it, because you've resolved your negative feeling, because you've resolved your negative emotion. So don't compress your negative emotion. Deal with it. Let it out. Ask it questions, you know. Take your negative emotion. Sit down with it. Cry your heart out. Everybody has ways to deal with negative emotions. and and you know how to deal with it. You personally know how to deal with it. If you're not going to deal with it, you're just putting it in the back of your mind, and it's going to come back. So when we have dealt with our negative, our positive will automatically come forward, and our positive emotion is the best way of living, right? So if you're just going to stay positive the whole time, happy, excited, bubbly, all those things, that's great if you have dealt with your negative. I hope you all have a lovely week.